Yes, it is BDTV, Business Day Television, and this is Industry Focus, where we give you updates on various industries, yes, both local and international, talking about home and abroad, be it whatever it is that you know is necessary to push across different industries. So here we identify the unpromised and give you that which you need. Remember this, problems are what they are, but right here we solve them. Several industries we talk about, its economy, of course, business values, and also how it affects the GDP of Nigeria and lives of Nigerians across Africa relative to the rest of the world. This is Industry Focus, most definitely. So let me quickly run you through 4 segments that will keep you locked right here on Business Day Television. First and foremost, we'll come through with our quote of the day, since we're talking film distribution in Nigerian movie industry and how it affects Africa. And secondly, we do have a captain's opinion with our guest, Nowe, Alexis, Segun-Ojo. You get to find out exactly why she's a key person when it comes to film in distribution and, of course, also movies and a whole lot of other stuff. You want to find out the creative sector. She will join us also. Then, right there, we talk about the challenges of film industry in Nigerian movie industry, most definitely. Then, deal or no deal, we hear the federal government is doing some great stuff to push across the creative sector. You got to find out exactly what we have. After that, most definitely, we'll be coming through with retrospect, all this coming your way, so don't change it. I am Onyeka Valentine. This is Industry Focus. We'll be right back. Business Television. Welcome back. Industry Focus. We haven't changed anything. Business Day Television. Onyeka Valentine is my name. Yes, let's quickly give you the quote of the day. I've got 2. Like they say, when something is nice, you better play it twice. I've got 2 quotes for you, and this one goes this way. Number 1 says, successful producers begin every film with distribution in mind. That's one. The second one goes, most films get distributed, right? But few ever get the views they deserve. I'm going to ask my guest about that if she agrees or not. All right, she's in the building already with me. So I think it again, number 1, it says, right, successful producers begin every film with distribution in mind. That's 1. 2, most films get distributed, but few ever get views they deserve. With that in mind, let me jump straight up to my guest. Let me break it down so you know who I have in the studio, so you don't miss anything for the world. About my guest, Nowe Alexis Segun-Ojo is the general manager of distribution and marketing for Nile Entertainment, with over 13 years of experience in public relations, brand strategy. She was previously, the group PR and communication manager for Filmhouse Group at the time. That was in the past. Right? Her current role involves expanding African content globally. She's also a mother of 2, a fantastic mother at that, and a volunteer who is passionate about leadership and impact, talking about taking our local content to the world. Nowe Alexis Segun-Ojo. Welcome to the studio.
I had to look back
to be sure.
To figure out, am I the person you're speaking on?
Well,
yes, thank you. I'm very, very excited to be here at BDTV.
Right.
And you've been doing such a great job being the host. Well done.
Thank you. You're welcome. Your career so far has been awesome, that we know. But again, it is film, distribution, entertainment, production. Very quickly, why that first and foremost before we jump into the other hard part?
Your other hard part.
Right.
Why film distribution? Why not?
Okay.
Why not? But in all honesty, it wasn't a path that I had necessarily carved out for myself. I think by proxy with what I was already doing is how the opportunity came about. And when it came about, I just felt like it was you know, it was a good fit with what I already do or did with marketing, right? Now that I know what I know, I joke around that I am a baby distributor, but I've been over a year now and I can walk. So being here, I know that, you know, I'm coming with a new perspective, especially merging marketing and distribution.
Right.
Because distribution is marketing, right? It's very simple. You want your product to be distributed, you know, across whatever channels. It's not rocket science, you know. So when you understand the 1, 2, 3s and the ABCs, and then you now try to be innovative with what you know, strategy in marketing, it was a very good fit, you know. So I'll give it up to, you know, she knows herself. She's watching currently. I'll give it up to her for identifying. I call her like one of the best HR managers for identifying that this is a good path for me. And so far so good, I don't regret it.
So far so good, you don't regret it.
I do not.
Today was your part, and you know, put a great smile on your face all through. So relax, put down your hair. But we're talking about the industry itself.
Okay.
And like they say, money, money, money. It's a different world. You can't talk about business without talking about the money aspect.
Yes.
Which is why industry focuses on how, yes, that industry adds value to the GDP, you know, grows the economy. Well, bring some fun to it, right? So our listeners and our viewers want to know, number one question here is about piracy issue, right? How do you deal with this? Now they say, and this one was sent from one of our viewers, says, piracy has been a historic nightmare for Nollywood.
Yeah.
With shifts to digital, how has the nature of piracy evolved, and what innovative strategies are filmmakers now using to protect their work and revenue in the online space?
Wow, you went right into it. You didn't even give me time to breathe. I'm just coming. Take tea.
You can see on TV there. See, you know, some of our you know, journalists went out to capture some certain stuff there.
Yes, I can see that. So yes, you're right. It has been a harrowing challenge for Nollywood for many, many years. Piracy has not changed. Piracy has just evolved.
Right.
It has evolved from physical to digital. Yes, so physical, where I can see your TV right now, you had DVDs, they're selling on the streets, and it has evolved to digital, where you know, platforms are being platforms like telegrams. We've had telegram platforms where people have uploaded films illegally. You have online platforms that are uploading films illegally. But as distributors and as filmmakers, because I call myself, because I'm in the ecosystem, we try to protect the producer by watermarking our products. We also have a cinema, I would say, like a scheduled release, like a particular release. And by that I mean you want your audience to almost understand film distribution in the most basic way. So they know that when this film comes out, it's going to come to cinema. It's like a scheduled release window. It's going to come to cinema, it's going to be in cinemas for 8 weeks, 5 to whatever amount of weeks. And then after that, it's going to go to X streamer, right? So when you give them that, you're not leaving room for piracy. Well, you can't, we haven't eradicated it, we're trying our best. But when you give the audience some sort of consistency and what to expect, you know, they kind of already know what is expected, and they might not be too much in a hurry to go to those other platforms. Another thing that we as Nile, we have done is that we have partnered with something or a platform called DigiGuardians. So DigiGuardians is a digital monitoring platform that tracks and monitors illegal uploads in real time. So what that means in real time, it's revolutionary.
That is a big kick
in real time.
for those
I promise you. So what happens is the last time we've had just one issue, thankfully, in this year with all the products that we have distributed, and when we reached out to our partners, it was taken down in less than an hour. That is something that has never happened before. However, on the audience side, I think that we have a battle of perception. Right? We have to let them know that, you know, when you take someone's film, you're taking a producer's blood, sweat, and tears. You're stealing content from them. And not just that, you're taking the much needed finances from the economy. That's from the audience perspective. Now, from our perspective as exhibitors, as distributors, as streamers, we have to make the products available and accessible, much more accessible than the pirate platforms. Right. So the onus is on us as exhibitors, cinemas. How much are your products? How much are the tickets? Is it too expensive? Can you, can you figure out the price point? Can you bring it down? Right. Because we've seen that from Cinema Day that happened in Nigeria, where you had to sell tickets for 2,000 naira. It was a 140% like upscale in admissions. 140%. So the Saturday before we had 7,000 plus admissions, and after Cinema Day we had 18,000 plus admissions. So what that means is that people want to watch these films, but it's too expensive. And also streaming platforms, your subscription fees, how much is it? And which is why we're proud to be consulting with StreamPay, another platform, a local streaming platform from the onset of, our international streamers being a little bit too slow, just, going out of the market a little bit. Right. So we have local platforms like StreamPay that we've partnered with that are doing some really amazing things. We can talk about that more data. There's so much, there's too much.
So we'll talk about, all right, good stuff. You see, like they say, when something is quite interesting, give it some air to it. So we bring that air, right? Yeah. And make sure that people don't see it to be uptight, rather more, innovative and educative. Yeah. So next question here, this one is quite, kind of hits home more. It says here, and these are our viewers who obviously want to know about this thing. So they ask questions. They say, look, based on the pathways, or better still, the data and transparency now, let's go there because of time. It says many filmmakers complain about lack of transparency in reporting. Now, how can a producer truly know how many times his film, right, was streamed, or how many DVDs were sold as an international distributor that you are? We see the statistics there, right, that shows, movie cinemas in Nigeria, 2024, right? It says 18 Nigerian states have cinemas, with Lagos accounting for 54.8%. Meaning to say Lagos is the hub. Right. So the question is, how can they be able to track to say, okay, I'm moving out, but I'm not making money. My distributor, what do we do? Right? How can you help them?
Your audience is very intelligent, and they're very curious, and I love the questions you're throwing at us. At Nile, I dare say that this is somewhat standardized, but I'm going to be speaking from a Nile entertainment perspective. At Nile, we send reports twice weekly, on Mondays and on Fridays. So we send like the weekend report, what your film has done on the weekend, and then, during the entire...
That's your crew.
Yeah, my bosses during the entire week. Okay. And with platforms like ComScore, where you can track box office performances, it's a little bit easier for the cinema part of things, for us to tell you these are the numbers. And the numbers are real, because we still have a lot of doubts and people saying these numbers are not real. But guess what? If you report wrong numbers, you're committing fraud. You can't be arrested. Right. How can you? So every single number you see out there when it comes to cinema releases is real. Because if you as a distributor are announcing that you have made 100 million naira plus in cinemas, you're going to have to split that amount with your exhibitors. You're going to split that amount, and the producers are going to hold you accountable. But why are you giving me X amount when you said you made X amount in cinemas, right? Of course, there's a splitting formula, so we're not going to go into that. However, those numbers are real. If they are not real, they will arrest every single one of us for false, for putting out false numbers.
All this, I didn't know. I didn't know, right? And somebody had no idea. But the good thing is that, we're able to follow through to get this full detail.
Right. Sorry, pardon me. One more thing I have to say about data transparency is, because I just spoke on the cinema part of things, right? For distribution, you have a cinema theatrical release, and then you might move to streaming, right? For sometimes, most of the time. Now, we do have challenges with the producers really knowing how their content is performing online. Of course, we have platforms like YouTube, but that's YouTube. But in terms of streamers, we have a partner called StreamPay. And what is revolutionary about StreamPay is the fact that there is an actual dashboard that you as a producer, you have access to. You can see in real time what your content is doing. And the USP of this all is the fact that you see how much your film has made and you can actually cash out instantly. Pausing.
Cash out instantly, because we're all about the money. Business Day television. We try to follow the money to know how do people make money, how can we help to grow the industry, hence the name Industry Focus. All right, in case you are still with us, which I know you are, and you are in doubt, we're speaking with, the formidable Nowe, Alexis Segun-Ojo. She is someone you want to say the go-to person when it comes to film distribution in Nigeria. Talking about Nile Entertainment, and she's doing great stuff, which is why she's here. Before we run away, because of time, our next segment here, they talk about, so they say the government has this thing they're working on. That was last month, right? And the plan is to help movie producers, help distributors, people like you, and every other person who's within your ecosystem, to begin to say, look, you know what, we want to upscale, so government wants to pump in money. And that was last year they said it. But the question is, are they pulling through? Do you really think that it's going to be a good deal? Let me just read it out so you know. It says, last month, the federal government, reaffirmed it, and we have a video for that. The Minister of Culture, right, said, last month, the federal government, reaffirmed its commitment to strengthen policy frameworks that's how on TV, right? That is supposed to create room for collaboration and drive socio-economic growth within the nation's film industry. Now, that's Minister of Arts and Culture, right? And Creative Economy, right? That's Hannatu Musawa, right? She made that's how on TV. She actually dropped that last month. But the question is, are we beginning to feel that so far? Do you think it's a good deal or is it no deal?
I think Minister Hannatu is, for the first time, in the entertainment industry, we're getting a lot of attention. So everything.
Are you saying it's the best time for us to smile? Go ahead.
For the first time, we haven't received this much attention in a long time. The ministry really puts their money where their mouth is. We see a lot of moves they're making, both from our end and even other stakeholders in the industry. They support, even if it's presence physically. I'll give just a random example. At Cannes, for instance, for the first time, we had a pavilion and where, she was just selling Nigerian content to the world. I know for a fact that based on the Netflix challenges, she and a couple of other stakeholders traveled, to have like a round discussion, like what is going on with Netflix. That really shows how involved she is. And I have nothing ill to say about Minister Hannatu. She's really putting in the work. I just wish that there were more tax reforms, because we're taxed heavily, withholding tax, entertainment tax, VAT. So if they are able to, if that's one thing that they can do for the industry, I feel like we'll all feel it in our bottom lines.
So it's a good deal.
It's a good deal.
It's a good deal. I'm going to shake your hand here and say it's a good deal. So my viewers get to know that, okay, I've got to know that there's a good deal.
As is Minister Hannatu behind the wheels, I'm so confident that she's going to make it happen.
Confident to make it happen? Most definitely. We can't even emphasize it even more. This is making more sense than I even expected. I must say you're doing so well on the show with all your information. You took your time to really grill the whole thing properly. So you come out
grilling me I'm like, what do I know? What am I saying?
But I think you're on point with it. Before we leave the studio, we want to know some very quick ones, and these are our viewers want to find out. That we know you have new projects coming up. All right. And we know you said something about some real play thing you guys are working on. So we want to know what are your new projects, and more importantly, how as a professional do you see film industry from your own angle, creating value and upping our GDP, making Nigeria better? Three things I asked now.
Yes.
One, what's happening, your new project coming up, and then of course, what's the plan to help, make Nigeria better with what you guys do at Nile Entertainment?
So we have quite a bit of projects. We don't have the time to.
That's you on TV. You're doing a presentation over there.
That was a launch of Nile Group.
Okay, go ahead.
We do not have the time to really go into detail. However, I'll speak on two things. We have a film coming up, Son of the Soil. It's a fantastic film. We won Audience Choice Awards.
Son of the Soil?
Yes, please.
Okay.
We won Audience Choice Awards in Afrif. That is coming out this Friday, so go watch it. But one of the projects that is really, really important to me and close to my heart is Real Play. And
How does that add value to Nigeria?
I'll explain. So if I explain what Real Play is, and then you can understand the value we add to the creative economy, especially with the youth, right? So we have a lot. This is our response to the youth and filmmakers that are always saying, what are you going to do for us? You distributors don't do anything for us. You're always taking. How are we going to be in cinemas when we don't have the money or the budget for the P&A? And so what we decided to do was to go into partnership with Nile Cinemas and have the cost of the P&A subsidized by Nile Foundation. So if you are a filmmaker and you've put your films in festivals, or you've shot something that you think is big screen worthy, or you want people to really see this content that you have created, then bring your film to Nile Entertainment. And we're going to give you that opportunity to put your films in cinemas. Not only that, it's going to be a cinema incubator.
Cinema incubator, which we have all the time. I mean, we should invite you to companies, part of this. You know what you say? The movie industry is so big and wide. And you have everything on you know, all packed and ready to give to us.
Yeah.
We want to thank you because of time. We wish you could continue back to back because of time we have to run away. But before we go away, we do have retrospect, which I'm going to have to read out soon. Now, for people who don't know, right, they forget so soon that there was a history, or rather, there's history that follows through that makes Nollywood and, you know, Nigerian movie industry make sense. So this one comes with what our what we call our own research comes through our research team. It says Nigerian cinema distribution, right, is strikingly uneven, with Lagos emerging as undisputed hub, hosting 114 out of the country's 206 cinemas. It says this means more than half, 54.8% of Nigeria's cinemas are in Lagos alone. This dominance highlights a state's strong cultural, economic, and entertainment appeal, making it the go-to destination for film enthusiasts and industry players. Do you agree with this?
Oh yeah, 100%.
As a research.
I agree with you, but I think the research, I think the numbers of cinemas have gone up a little bit.
Okay.
The numbers probably close to 300 now.
300.
It's still not enough to cater to the 200 plus million people we have in Nigeria. But it's a little bit more than 200 and something. I don't remember. I saw that over 300.
300.
And we are second only to South Africa with the highest amount of screens in Africa.
Boom.
Yes. So we can't do more. We need more. But this is why we need government support.
This is why we need government support.
Yeah.
Before we go, any last parting words for the government, for people back at home watching, those who are creative minds and they really want to get movies out there, they don't know who to talk to, you're here. In 20 seconds.
Right, just keep creating.
That camera, I think, is yours. The one in the middle is yours.
Okay. Right, to the creators, keep creating no matter how difficult the road is, no matter how challenging it is. Keep putting out stories, don't let your stories live in your chest. At Nile Entertainment, we're here to receive those stories and to just show them to the world. And to producers, the big shot producers, continue doing what you're doing. It looks like we're contributing not as much to GDP yet, but if we keep coming together as a unit, I think that will really take this industry forward.
Take the industry forward. Thank you again, Nowe, for gracing our wonderful studio. Hopefully we'll call you again. You wouldn't run away. Say that, the last time was too hard. It should be easy now. Right? Thank you so much for joining us.
So,
we want to see you some other time, most definitely. All right, so those at home, we hope that you've been able to get one or two and you've gotten those information that you need to really want to kickstart your creative journey. If it's in the film industry or maybe you are in the music industry or entertainment. But like they say, if something is great, better do it twice. That is why next week, Tuesday, we'll come back to you again with this show, Industry Focus. It has been wonderful for those of you who missed out. We had Nowe, Alexis, Segun-Ojo as our wonderful guest, giving you everything that you need and explaining to you why distribution in Nigeria will help the movie industry become even bigger. For me, Business the Television. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.